And take us away.
Hey, look what we're finally doing.
Yep, after all the teasing, we finally got around to one of the best, holy shit, amazing webcomics we've ever read.
Yeah. Let's see. Kind of a funny, I'm not sure if you've listened to all of these, which, God help you.
Yeah.
But, if you've listened to all of these, I'm sure you probably followed the saga of me, like, talking Adam into reading it.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't want to, it's so fucking long. Next 2 or 3 videos later, holy shit, this is amazing! It's like, this is just, it's really an incredible webcomic, and this is almost worth, because he had been pressuring me to read it for a while, and it was, I think I kind of got around to it mostly because we were doing the podcast. And it's just an amazing comic.
Yeah, so if you didn't tell, this will be kind of a glowing one.
Yes, we're just going to be just masturbating the whole way through. This is going to be like a 3-hour-long review of just us, like, squeeing like little girls. This is one of those webcomics where it's just so perfect. Like, we had to struggle to come up with negatives to bring up in the podcast.
Yeah, we did hit on a few. Don't worry, this won't be nothing but gushing.
It'll just be mostly gushing. We do have problems with it.
Yeah, it bears mentioning now that this will probably be a break in format.
Yeah, we because we're, there's going to be some speculation in this.
Yeah, there's going to be some speculation, there's going to be, like, some more intimate discussion of details and stuff. If fundamentals, the nature of the comic, it's kind of hard not to talk about specifics.
Yeah. I'm trying to shit. We should probably say right now there are definitely going to be spoilers in this.
Yeah, we'll try and watch it.
And well, when we get to the stuff with the shake-up that happened recently.
True. Yeah.
Like, there's going to be some very big spoilers in this. Like, things that I'm like, I would, like, no, you should not know this. If you intend to read this, you should not know this is coming.
Yeah, we'll probably warn whenever we're about to get to that point, just because, like, yeah, seriously, that is one of those things, like, you don't want to...
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to know that's coming.
No. It's just so out of nowhere. Yeah, just this, really, we can just say right now, hands down, definitely read this. This is like pretty much the paradigm of webcomics right here.
Yeah.
So if you want spoilers, like, it'll be a while before we get to them, and we'll warn before we do. But if you don't want them, it's safe bet to just turn the podcast off now and just read it, because it's amazing.
Yeah, so...
And to show how amazing it is, I'm going to draw my favorite character right now. Right out of the gate.
I don't think I'm entirely sure who your favorite character is.
Really? I thought I gushed about him, like, over and over again. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious who all I'm going to wind up drawing on this, but yeah, let's intro then.
Yeah, I'm presently just finding myself trying to think, like, who could it be?
No, come on!
Like,
you gotta be joking,
I immediate instinct antimony, but...
Wait, what?
It's an immediate instinct.
Okay, you're joking with me right now, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Coyote?
Oh my god. Well, you must be on a pretty big delay, because this is it's pretty obvious from, like, it's pretty obvious from...
Yeah, the stream isn't wanting to work for me at all.
Oh shit, so you can't see what I'm doing?
No.
Well, I'm not going to say who it is then. I'm going to see if you can ever guess.
Saying, yeah, the stream isn't working for me at all. Like, not one bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He can't see the video then. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I gotta find a picture of him anyway, because he's surprisingly hard to draw from memory. But yeah, intro then.
Was it Isengrin, maybe?
What's that?
Was it Isengrin, maybe?
I do really like Isengrin, but no.
Is that Coyote?
I'm almost certainly going to draw Coyote before the night is done, but no, not him either.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So getting on subject here.
It's someone who's very, very easy to draw.
Oh, Mort.
Yes! Motherfucking Mort.
Okay, yeah, so getting on the subject.
It was either going to be Mort or City Face.
Yeah, we have to do City Face.
We have to do we were almost going to do it. I think we kind of missed the window of opportunity, but no, I shouldn't do it. We might still do it.
Yeah, okay, so the premise of Gunnerkrigg Court is hard to explain.
Yeah, it really is. Okay. Teenage, well, I think she was like 12 or something when the comic first started, yeah?
I think about, I'm pretty sure she was like 12, and I think right now she's like 15 or 16.
Yeah, like little girl goes to a new, like, her mother has recently died, father's out of the picture for the moment. So she's transferred to a boarding school which is a sort of very strange sort of semi-sci-fi technological masterpiece, sitting across the street from or just like across a set distance away from a mythical, strange, beautiful forest, just teeming with wildlife and mystical creatures, like the kind of forest you would see in shit. I'm trying to think of a good example. Like the kind of forest you would see in Middle Earth.
And it's
And I am genuinely really, really pissed at how everything I've said about it so far can be applied to Harry Potter.
Yeah, here that bears mentioning about this. Yes, this is set in a British boarding school. Yes, it has 4 houses. Yes, there's magic involved. It is nothing like Harry Potter.
It really isn't. Think less Harry Potter and more Sandman, if you've ever read like the Neil Gaiman Sandman books, because it's very, very. If anything, it's really, really similar to Sandman.
Yeah, when I was reading it, he was bringing up that comparison a lot.
I really was. Like, I wouldn't shut up about it. So yeah.
I'm just wondering what somebody who is uninitiated is thinking of Mort.
Yeah. Mort is okay. Yeah, the premise. Adding on to the premise, like it turns out that actually, I guess we should say for starters that the city and in general, this comic is very, very heavily story focused.
Yeah.
We like the characters a lot. The characters are great, but it's just the story. The story is generally one of the better.
Yeah.
I want to draw Human Mort alongside his regular self, but is that kind of spoilery?
I would say too who he was. I'll just throw out the spoilers. We see Mort eventually.
Yeah, we see what he looks like as a little boy, because typically he's a ghost.
Yeah. Saying okay, so. And yet the comic doesn't really have a main plot. It's, I mean, yeah, it has like an ongoing story and like things building up. It's just like a lot of it is like a collection of subplots.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make a rule to not say like Sandman, because that's basically what Sandman was.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm gonna pledge to myself that's the last time I'm gonna say like Sandman.
You won't hold on to that.
I won't. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it's much more character focused, much more story focused, in spite of not having a general overarching story. It's mostly just a collection of kind of vignettes.
Yeah, it's like it has. Essentially, you have probably like 5 or 6 main plots and then multiple subplots all vying for time.
Yeah, but at the same time, it does not do this in a way that seemed cluttered or forced. It actually comes off as fairly shit, wrong button. Shit. Yeah. Like, it comes off as fairly it flows together very naturally, and nothing is given too much focus for the most part, nothing is given too much focus or too little focus. For the most part, it's very well focused. Like it's very well balanced.
Yeah, and I'm looking for some way to add on to that. I just forget what it was.
In general, like a lot of the problems that we complain about for other webcomics, this like averts all the problems and sort of does like it does what they're trying to do with like it does what they're trying to do and what even in our webcomics what we're trying to do and does it right.
Yeah.
Like in general,
I would go ahead and throw out right now, like basically every problem. This comic is the best counter to Elder and Shive that could possibly exist.
It's the best comic. It's the best counter to a lot of webcomics that could possibly exist. Because, like, in general, like we all have to get together and hire an assassin. Because whoever writes this comic is making all of us look like chumps.
Yeah, it's just yeah, I don't know. With the premise, should we go ahead and go into some of the subplots now? Just kind of like the basic gist of like what you're kind of usually dealing with.
I think maybe we should start with like the forest court thing.
Yeah. Okay. Essentially, as Adam went into, there's the court. Gunnerkrigg Court or Gunnerkrigg or however you choose to pronounce it.
That's the school, like the technological like Marvel wonder masterpiece. That is the school.
Yeah. And then across from it is Agility.
Oh shit! How do you say that?
Yeah. Across from it's a forest.
Yeah. Like again, like one of those kinds of Lord of the Rings type forests with like just teeming with life. It's amazing.
Yeah. And yeah, like in this forest, there are all sorts of like mythical creatures and just animals and just tons of different things.
Yeah.
And the whole place has a very like the forest is very nature and like magic rooted, while the court is much more about like technology and like science, and also about controlling and abusing magic instead of just letting it roam free.
Yeah. It's like it is basically like is basically the natural unfettered for like miserable kind of like raw world versus the controlled practiced modern world that you see in the court. And before you say anything, like neither is presented as particularly good.
Yeah, they both are like they're both presented as having their good attributes and having their bad ones.
Yeah, because we say like the unkempt, unfettered world, but like that's portrayed as like not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, it's portrayed as very primal.
Yeah, it's very, it's
and that's to say nothing of Coyote, who we will get to.
Oh, we're gonna get to Coyote because he's worth talking about.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm drawing him before the night is over.
Okay, so it's funny. The forest is probably the best place to start, given the stuff with the forest actually doesn't become all that relevant until like 10 chapters in.
No, and even after then, you don't spend that much time in the forest.
Yeah. Okay, so there's that. There's, as part of this, they kind of rise out of the same sort of circumstances.
Mort needs to look dirtier as a little boy. He was yeah.
He said he needed to add the freckles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, no, he didn't have freckles.
It looks like he doesn't have picture.
No, it seems like just lines under the eye. Shit, I gotta look up, like, more pictures of what he looked like.
Right, looking up more pictures, I'm gonna probably immediately spoil stuff.
I know! Shit!
We'll do it in post. I'll do it in coloring.
Yeah. Your problem, not mine.
Yeah, if wondering about the stream working.
Oh, yeah, I was kind of curious. Like, okay, are you just Googling that too, or?
Yeah, I opened it up in Firefox.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just Chrome wasn't wanting to run it in Firefox well.
Sorry. But and it's about the balance between, and it does a really good job showing sort of the balance between this modern, stifled, almost hospital clinical clean world against the wild and uncontrolled woodland.
Yeah. So that's one big aspect of it. Related to that is the.
And we don't mean like bringing the two sides together to like live in harmony. It's like it's kind of clear that that's probably never going to happen.
Yeah, it's more kind of a balance of like trying to keep the peace between the two sides.
Yeah.
It said, yeah, there are a few other things kind of by for like the main plot spot, like in the waters between the two places, the forest and the court.
Yeah, they're separated by a sort of a river.
Yeah,
and a bridge.
And in the waters, there's this ghost who nobody really knows who she is or what she's doing down there or why the. Should we go into the psychopomps? I probably wouldn't do it right now.
Well, we have to talk about Antimony's, her... Shit, we probably should have started with Antimony's backstory.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
See what I mean on saying this comic is hard to explain?
It really is. Like, oh shit, we're not doing our job. We're making this look worse.
Yeah. Restart. I think we're like 15 minutes in and we haven't even done anything yet.
Yeah. We are 15 minutes in. 16.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna be a long one.
Yeah, this is we're getting strap in, folks.
Yeah, we'll look at like 90 minutes on this one.
Yeah. You guys have the advantage of being able to see like when the chapter is gonna end. We have no idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
Okay.
should have made a bigger page because I'm not gonna have enough room to fit all the characters I want to draw.
Yeah. Copy and paste it.
Yep, I'm gonna have to, I think. Yeah, so as long as we're going into Antimony's backstory right now, I guess I'm gonna have to talk about her.
Okay, essentially, Antimony spent most of her early life living in
it's an element, I forgot.
Yeah. So, yeah, Antimony spent most of her early life living in a hospital with her slowly dying mom, who, like her, attended the court.
Yeah.
And yeah, essentially, that's a big part of her character is like just the effect, like slowly watching her mom, who she was very close to, die, and just like what effect that had on her.
Yeah. They don't sugarcoat this at all. We do, it does show. Her mother had a terminal illness, and she wanted the two of them to be together as much as possible, and we see like the effect it had on her. I think it's
What?
I'm sorry, you go.
I'm saying it just occurred to me we're not going to be able to go to the front page of the site without immediately spoiling stuff.
Yeah. I kept that in mind. That's why I started on like the first page of the site.
Yeah.
We'll
okay.
go in like later after we get into like that particular area of discussion.
It sucks. It's due to update in a couple of minutes, and you're not going to be able to check it.
Fuck! Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the ones where like, oh shit, it's gonna update in a minute. Ooh. But yeah. What were we talking about? Antimony, just like, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, the slowly watching her mom die and how close they were and all that informs a lot of aspects of the character.
Yeah.
And, it's an important thing that gets come back to a lot and has a lot of story and a lot of mysteries and stuff even surrounding that.
Yeah. Yeah, she is, yeah, so there's...
As even she was young, her head was very pointy.
Yeah, there's some very clear art evolution to this, because, like, the models had to really, get better, as we all do, but I think it's especially noticeable here just because of the way that the characters, like, looked.
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, while living with her mom in the hospital, Antimony, came to work with what are called the psychopomps.
She basically gained the ability to see their universe's equivalent of death, or the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. He probably is one of them.
But yeah, he is. Like the person that like the mythical character that the modern view of death is based on is yeah.
Yeah, I said he probably is one, though we haven't actually seen him.
No, we have seen him. He's the one who carries the scythe. It's like. It's not like the modern day version. It's like the one that the modern day version is based on.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's got somebody else.
I want to argue the point, but I think we're already kind of going to make. This
we're well off topic already. Anyway, the point is, so yeah, Antimony wound up working with these things called the psychopomps, who their job is to escort the dead into the. God, we're gonna have to go into that too.
Everything is linked together. It's impossible.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, basically, the parents guide, like the psychopomps just guide the souls into the afterlife.
Yeah.
And they're not people who. This is not like some kind of like Bleach kind of scenario where that's their job. It's like these are actual like mythical, strange creatures.
Yeah, that's their entire purpose, is just to take people into the I forget what the exact name is, like the ethereal void or something.
Yeah, it's something like that. The word ethereal comes up a lot in the comic.
Yeah.
Magic is referred to as ethereal science by the court.
Yeah, even among the forest, they tend to try to avoid the word magic.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually get used much.
Yeah.
Okay, so essentially, like, while doing this, she learned the ability to, she was recruited in on this a few times, just, like, helping to escort the dead into the afterlife. This is just a skill she acquired.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah, that's a pretty morbid, like, thing to do when you're a little girl.
Yeah. Which, this is spoilery, so I'm not going to go into it, but there is a reason she was taught to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so, related to that...
And all this is happening... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go on.
And all this is happening when she's already in a traumatic moment of her life, when, her mother is dying, and it's like, by the time she actually gets to the court, she's actually a little bit kind of out, kind of off. Sort of like...
Yeah, kind of cold and...
Yeah. Distant.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so related to this, she decides she wants to help out this ghost who is trapped between the court and the forest, just unable to move on. None of the psychopomps can help her. So a big part of that is just trying to figure out how this woman can be helped. Like, what her deal is, who she is, why she is down there. Like, that's another one of the big main plots.
Yeah.
Which, again, we'll be coming further back to that later.
Yeah. As we go on, I'm realizing we really have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, like I said from the get-go, this comic is hard to break down.
Yeah.
Especially without, like, spoiling every single plot element.
Yeah.
Okay, while another big central focus is the fact that while at the court, Antimony makes a good close friend named Kat, who...
And Kat is like, it's in a way very different from, like, very different from Antimony. She's very happy and smiling and outgoing and eccentric, while at the same time, sort of being a spitfire, I guess, is the right word.
Yeah, kind of.
Like,
she can be very outspoken.
Yeah, very, like, if you piss her off, she'll let you know. But at the same time, she is mostly, like, very, very friendly and very happy. Are you there?
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. Are you searching for a page?
No, I was looking at the new one. I'm not gonna say anything on it.
You son of a bitch! You know I can't look at it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna say anything. Especially because it's like...
Shut up, dude!
Yeah. I was just gonna say it's not something you can really bring up. In any case, moving right along.
Yeah, it's updating right now and I can't look at it because of you assholes.
Grab the gamepad, look at it on that.
It's in the next... I have to get up.
Yeah.
Okay,
see, it's Tom's really good.
It really is.
Okay,
yeah.
So, yeah, a huge part of the comic is just Kat and Antimony's friendship.
Yeah, it's like they're together for not all of it, but like for most of it, like just solving all the various mysteries and like not just about like the ghost in the water, but also what happened when the court was founded? Like how did the bad blood between the court and the forest start? Just all these like little mysteries that they're trying to look into and trying to solve throughout the course of the of the comic, and it's just amazing.
I just realized something else we neglected to mention on the hospital thing.
Carver?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I was... Yeah, yeah, you
This is something we will be coming back to later, although it's very spoilery. Just another thing that is a big part of Antimo's character is the fact that after her mom died, her dad abandoned her.
And if you're making a Shinji Ikari, like, Gendo and Shinji Ikari thing in your brain, I was thinking the exact same thing.
And it gets worse.
It gets so much worse. Like, to the point where, like, I shouldn't say anymore.
We'll be coming back to that later.
Yeah, because
okay,
we're talking about more about that particular aspect.
Okay, I think we've hit on most of the main plots.
The robots.
Oh yeah, they're robots.
And the I forget what her actual title is, but with Isengrin.
Yeah.
I think those two will be it.
Yeah. Okay. So for a significant part of the comic, which this has kind of been resolved by now, but Antimo is also in training to take over the job as the medium of the court.
Yeah, like we said, a big part is keeping the peace between the forest and the court, and so Antimony takes the job of just making.
Well, she's one of several people vying for the job.
Yeah. Oh right. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, she's in the ranks to help, like, be the person who acts as the mediator, the arbiter.
Yeah, which is a position her mom had.
Yeah. It turns out her mother also had this position. Does she have eyelashes? Yeah, she does. Okay.
I would assume she has other makeup. I mean.
Yeah, she has, like, the eyeshadow. Like, looking at her design again, the eyeshadow is really distracting.
Yeah. It's mostly distracting when she doesn't have it.
That's also true.
Ugh.
But yeah, that's who's next?
Oh yeah, right. Okay, so the robots.
I mean, I did Antimony, like.
Okay, Cat.
Yes, Cat. Logical step forward.
Yeah.
Robots, as you were saying.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so another main plot is the fact that the court has robots.
As we said, it's a technical marvel.
Yeah, and the comic's set in kind of a vague period of time.
Honestly, that's one of my main problems with it. But yeah. Very vague period of time.
It's not as bad as Gaia, which we'll get to, but
you might want to have to take that one solo there, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't to talk about it as part of that. I just want to review it eventually.
No, yeah, that's kind of what. I don't know if I want to read that one.
Yeah. Honestly, it'd be a pretty short read. I think it's only at like 400 pages.
Okay, maybe then.
Okay. So okay, so they're robots, and essentially, okay, Cat's kind of a genius inventor.
Yeah.
And so there is a lot of focus given to the fact that the robots come to worship her.
Yeah, because she has, like, she interacts with them in a way that most people don't. She's whatever. They're just robots. They just do a job. But because she's interacting with them this much, and because she goes into where they came from, it becomes this kind of very strange religion. Because it's presented in a way that shows, I'm trying to think of it. It's just like it's presented in the way that you see the mentality of a robot. Like, what do you think of when you're constructed for a purpose? Like, and like just constructed to do a single job.
Yeah, the commentary is quite good about analyzing how, like, this single-minded thing that just can't process information like humans do still can find a way to worship something. Yeah,
and you totally buy it, and it's at the same time very heartwarming, at the same time very almost ominous. This idea, like the way that they...
Yeah, a lot of it has a very creepy air about it.
Yeah, but not necessarily being presented as bad, but just as sort of like, you don't know what's going to happen, and it might be very, very dangerous.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing that gets a lot of focus.
Yeah, just like, and in finding out, in looking at this, Kat changes her hairstyle a lot. I did not know.
Yeah, she really does.
Yeah.
I'd actually been about to mention that whenever you got to draw under. I was just saying, like, well, good luck trying to settle on which one to do.
Yeah. Holy shit. Like, I did not realize this. But yeah, what were we saying?
Okay, I think we got through the gist of the main plot finally a half hour in.
Yeah, although, like, in looking into, like, in looking into the whole thing about, in looking into, like, the robot worship thing, they also start to uncover ideas about where the court came from and where they got robots in the first place, and who built the robots, and what were they for, and how that ties into the ghost in the water, and all this. And that's one reason why it's taken us 31 minutes to get through the main fucking plot, because everything ties together. I think every single point that we've brought up as aspects of the main plot tied together.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's like, not all of these stories are even necessarily related. It's just they intertwine a lot.
And we're not even saying this as a bad thing, because, like, we love this. It's just, it's a bitch to explain.
Yeah, I've had this problem before.
I had this...
Huh?
Yeah, I had this problem before, too.
Just trying to tell somebody about this comic is just impossible.
Yeah, I tried to explain this to my brother once. It's just like, okay, pull up a chair for a minute.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we should leave well enough alone and move on to the cast already.
Yes. And whatever.
Okay,
This is going to be her hair. There, that's hair.
Yeah. Do the one with the pigeon.
No, City Face is not just going to be with her. City Face is going to be solo.
Yeah.
City Face is the real star of the comic.
Okay, Antimony, she's actually a very complex character.
She really is. Like we said, she has a lot of issues because of the stuff, how she was raised, being in this hospital, talking to dead people, her mom dying, her dad abandoning her, and because of this, at the very start of the comic, she's very isolated. She's sort of almost emotionless, or sort of boxed in.
Yeah, and she does do this impression early on of just being very cut off and just like, as Adam said, basically emotionless.
Like, kind of aloof.
Yeah. But when you get to know her, she really isn't.
No, she's very, like, as the comic goes on, like, more and more, she starts to become very open to other people and very friendly, and she develops, kind of surprisingly develops, almost a very trolly sense of humor.
Yeah. Like,
she starts to really love just messing with people just to see them sort of be upset afterward.
Yeah, she can also be very warm.
Yeah, she's also at the same time very warm and very loving.
Yeah.
And it's such a great piece of character development because it's so gradual. Like, aside from one moment, which we are going to have to talk about because it's amazing, you don't really notice that she's warming up quite this much. At least not that I can really think of.
Yeah, there are certainly moments that inform her, like, moments where she radically changes or whatever, usually for a reason, and just, like, overall, though, you just gradually get to know her and what she's like.
Yeah, this is just a great gradual shift. And the way she's presented is just beautiful, and you do kind of feel like this kind of almost like a parent or something watching her grow and become a different person.
Yeah, but it also bears mention she's very flawed.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm very happy is that she does. There are a lot of, like, we mentioned that she has like a trolling sense of humor at times, but she also does objectively pretty bad things.
Yeah, she can be very pointlessly cruel.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know. Can we?
And the comic's aware of it. Like there are times whenever she just takes her anger too far.
Yeah, and she does get like the knockback, which works. And like, should we mention the thing about like the homework or?
Oh yeah, she can also be.
Like there's a recurring this isn't too big of a spoiler, but like there's a recurring thing like after a certain point she kind of just stops doing her schoolwork and just completely copies off Kat without her knowing.
Yeah.
And it's a minor thing. It sounds like a minor thing, but we really stop and think about it. Like, no, that's like she could get expelled for that.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of thing that you would get in serious trouble for if you did it in real life.
Plus, there have been times of her just doing things like skipping class or whatever. She's very prone to having this sort of like it's all about me time mindset without really actively thinking that way.
Yeah, and also it's partially because she's been in the forest. And like as time goes on, she spends more and more time in the woods.
Yeah.
Like because she wants to be the mediator, the arbiter. But and like as she gets like this kind of free spirit kind of she gets like kind of this free spirit go with the are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, go with the wind kind of thing, but yeah, it's eventually it's like that's not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm kind of taking this over.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's see. Then there's Kat, who her and Anthony inform a lot of aspects of each other's characters.
Yeah, they complement each other very nicely.
Yeah. So, and Kat can be. She contrasts a lot with Anthony, but she's also very similar to her.
Yeah. Again, like a real friendship.
Yeah. Like, Kat tends to be the more... She's the more grounded, yet at the same time she's the more hot-headed.
Yeah, like, she wears her heart on her sleeve, but at the same time, like, she's very much a child of the court, like, of technology. Yeah.
Which, granted, even though she is that way, she actually harbors a pretty negative opinion of the court.
Yeah. Like as we said, like as they find out more about like where it came from, and everything.
Yeah. Kat is she's a hard character to explain because she's gone through a lot and changed a lot over the course of the comic.
And since she doesn't get as much focus as Antimony, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah. Yeah, like Kat does have this certain continual air about her, just like I don't know. In some ways, her life is more stable than Antimony's, but at the same... Oh my god, I'll finish the thought first. Okay. In some ways, her life is more stable than Antimony's and all that, but at the same time, she's been through a lot.
Yeah, she really has been.
Yeah. Same. And now, with the thing that I just realized a second ago, is that in talking about the main plot, we neglected to mention probably the third most important character.
Isengrin?
No, Renardine / Renard.
I never liked Renard that much.
Yeah, I mean, he's still really important.
Yeah. Yeah, but come on.
Actually, to be fair, I guess it's kind of appropriate to say mention of this for now because he's more important in terms of how he affects the characters than what he actually does for the plot, which isn't that much.
Huh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, let's get to Renard then. Or Renardine, however you choose to pronounce it. Yeah. Like, both names are used.
Yeah.
Okay, so... I don't even know how you get into describing him.
Okay. I'm not even going to go into, like, the whole thing about how they first met.
Yeah, okay, basically, long and short... Back in the day, Antimony's mom had a quasi-fling of sorts with, or at least a friendship, with this fox who can possess bodies.
Yeah, it's basically a fox spirit.
Yeah. And...
Through
a series of events that really aren't worth going into right now.
This is already long enough.
Yeah. Antimony to own him while he's possessed his, like a stuffed fox she has.
Yeah, like it's a little it's like a little stuffed fox toy, but because he's magic, he can make it into like a full-grown kind of wolf-like fox, or like a kind of like, I don't know, how would you even describe like the other body he sometimes uses, like a Muppet?
Kinda.
I gotta bring him up, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. Okay. So Serenading is he's a big part of like what he brings to the cast is like he's sort of a he's kind of a link to the like he kind of opens the door to all the weird magical stuff in a sense. Like and he's also sort of a kind of a source to go to for it.
Yeah. And he's also a character who went through like a number of changes as it went on, because like at first he really hated the fact that he was stuck in the body and like resented Antimony for somewhat being responsible for him being stuck in it, but and her mom for also in a sort of way being in the same thing, because like we said, he had a thing for her at one point.
Yeah, and he kind of grows to have a certain paternal kind of feeling for her.
Yeah, like he wants to be like he kind of feels almost like almost like a parent to her.
Yeah, so I said he's kind of an odd character to talk about because he is important, and yeah, as mentioned, he doesn't actually impact the plot that much, and he actually doesn't even get that much. He actually doesn't even get that much screen time. But he does a lot to inform the other characters and kind of ease them into this magical world.
Yeah,
and just be a good kind of confidant to them.
Yeah. Although that said, I think as the comic goes on, like the reason we kind of didn't want to talk about him that much is because like as the comic goes on and we the reader are more and more in tune like what the magical world is like, he gains less and less of a purpose.
Yeah, he doesn't even actually show up that much anymore.
No, he really doesn't. We haven't seen him in like we haven't seen him in any meaningful capacity in a long time.
Yeah. Well, he's been in the current chapter in a meaningful capacity, just not in a very present one. And that's all I'm going to say about that for now.
Pretty much.
Okay. So, what's that? Okay, yeah, what character to move on to next? Because once you get past the big three, there are a lot of different ways you can go.
So we did start off with drawing Mort. But then Mort doesn't really add that much to the story. He's just awesome.
Yeah, let's talk about Mort.
Okay, in like her first, in one of the early storylines, Antimony discovers that there's a ghost living in the school.
Yeah. And so she just kind of hangs out with him. Like, Mort's just kind of like this, like, goofy, like, bedsheet ghost who's just kind of Antimony's, like, big contact with the underworld.
Yeah, like, you know, just...
underworld's the wrong term, it's afterlife.
Yeah, getting into, just a connection to the afterlife. Just like this ghost who lives in the school, and Antimony just comes in and just talks to him. And it's just great. He's just funny, and he like, I love just the way like he shapeshifts as he talks to people. Like he still remains a bedsheet ghost, but he just takes on all these weird, subtle, different forms.
Yeah. As I said, there isn't that much to him, but he does show up pretty often, and he is, you know, he's just a character you like to have around.
It's like every single time he shows up, I'm smiling because he's just great.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite, like probably two of my two favorite moments of the comic are one of them is related to him.
Yeah. I'm guessing I know what the other one is.
Yeah, we're talking about that one.
Yeah.
And then, as long as we're also in the court, there's also...
Yeah, I was actually probably about to do Robot and Shadow next.
I was going to say Eglamour, but they probably make more sense.
Yeah. Just, they're kind of established earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Actually, maybe we shouldn't do Eglamour, because it's just like, okay, we have to draw a line.
What is it?
Maybe we shouldn't do Eglamour, actually, because I think, like, okay, we have to draw a line somewhere.
Yeah, Plus, how should we do Eglamour whenever you can't recognize him unless the author points him out?
That's a weird, obscure joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
so you know, I'm pretty sure whenever we reviewed Sandra and Wu, we talked about how Ed Gilmore just showed up there for a story arc for no reason.
yeah, that's a good point. Speaking of which. Anyway, what were you saying?
Okay, so Robot and Shadow. We'll be real quick on those two, but basically, the start of the story has Antimony having to build a robot to help a duplicate Shadow she has acquired get back into the woods. This is basically what hits off the entire plot. And yeah, I'll throw out now the early comic can be kind of weird with the tone.
Yeah, the tone is like, it's one of those things where like the tone does not work to.
It takes a little bit to find itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, anyway, that being said, essentially, she builds a robot to help Shadow get across the forest or whatever. Then, this, through a series of circumstances, eventually the robot and Shadow wind up kind of back in the court and, like, with their, kind of part of their general circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just, like, they're just kind of two different, sort of oddities of the soul that just, like, Cat and Asmodi just kind of help teach and adjust, adjust to living with humanity, kind of.
Yeah, like again, like the mentality of a robot and the mentality of a kind of like a spirit from the woods, and like what they would think about just seeing humanity from their perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, specifically the as a good show of like obscure mythology and stuff Comics fond of. Shadow is specifically a glass-eyed man, but they don't actually say that much.
Yeah. Yeah, it just works great.
Yeah.
And anyway, but yeah, aside from them, we have Jones.
Yeah.
Who, holy fuck.
We have to draw Jones.
What's that?
So we have to draw Jones.
Yeah, we have to do Jones because, like, holy shit, how do you start with this lady?
Yeah,
I'll
okay,
draw
Jones
now.
is... What?
I'll draw Jones now.
Okay, Jones in the... I don't know, without getting into spoilers, Jones probably wouldn't actually have that much to say about her. A lot of the more interesting stuff about her is very spoilery.
That's very true.
But, okay, so Jones is the,
I think this is the hardest we've ever worked to avoid spoilers in one of these things.
Yeah. We'll get into them later. It's just for the time being. Okay, so Jones is the woman who is in charge of Antimony's training of sorts for potentially becoming the medium.
Yeah.
And she's... Okay, Jones is kind of this quiet, kind of more literally emotionless girl. Like, she's just very stoic and very dry, like never seems to really respond to a situation. And she has certain odd quirks about her that raise questions.
Yeah, like, okay, for one thing, she's absurdly skilled at combat. Like, she doesn't even seem capable of being hurt.
Yeah, there's a point in time where you see her deflect the shot with a sword with her face.
Yeah.
She's also doesn't seem to be able to swim, and she's absurdly heavy.
Yeah.
And she can punch through walls.
So yeah, whatever she is, she probably isn't human.
Yeah, we get more details on that. It's just, without going into the spoilers, it's just quite clearly Jones just isn't right.
Yeah, there's just like she's just a mysterious, very weird character
Yeah, which we're probably underselling her a bit here. Like, Jones is a very interesting character just in how, like, there's just so much about her that just, like, isn't right.
Yeah. She's just another thing that makes the comic so great.
Yeah, I think it's time to do Coyote.
Yeah, Coyote. As we said, that's the stuff on the court side, the side of technology. But,
yeah, there are way more characters who are important over there, but we can't go over through every single one of them.
No, she has a whole class full of people, like all of her classmates and all these other teachers. So much.
Yeah, it's like Lydia Parley, you're important. I don't have time for you right now.
I like those two a lot. Like I love the teleporting.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll come back to those two. Well, no, we won't. Probably.
No,
we don't have time.
Won't. This. We are already at 50 minutes.
Yeah.
We just hit 50 minutes.
Yeah, we're on bullet point 2.
Oh shit! Maybe we shouldn't speculate on. Okay.
Okay, so
meanwhile,
it is a good thing we saved this for the dead of night.
Yes, it's very good. Oh god.
Okay, so Coyote is.
We're gonna be up here till morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coyote is a fascinating character. Like, he really is.
It's as we said, the comic takes a lot of stuff actually from Greek mythology.
Well, not Greek mythology. Mythology.
I'm sorry, mythology general. Yes. Anyway, in Native American mythology, the coyote was the trickster god. He was the spirit of he was just this untrustworthy spirit who would play tricks on all the other deities and on mythical heroes of Native American mythology. I can't do him in that pose, yeah. So he's the one who's more or less the leader of the court. He's this kind of
Forest.
Forest. Yes, the leader of the forest, and he's this sort of mysterious, almost Q-esque being, just capable of doing more or less anything he wants. This absurdly powerful entity, just fucking.
But he does have rules to his magic, but you kind of have to get to know him.
Yeah. It's a very powerful being, just only intending for but who primarily spends most of his power to fuck with people.
Yeah, and the thing that makes Coyote interesting, which this can take a little time for you to kind of get, because you really have to get to know him to really understand what makes his character tick.
Because we mentioned him as being just like a Q Mitzelspitlik Loki kind of trickster god, but he's very complex. He is all of those things, but yeah.
Because Coyote's a very wacky, goofy, just jokes around, all that kind of character. Except, unlike a lot of characters like that who only exist to play pranks and stuff, Coyote is very dangerous.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because he presents himself as just like that kind of person, just only there to make tricks and humiliate and troll people. But then, when you stop and think about it, this guy he's someone who is legitimately very, very dangerous to be around. He's malicious and very just almost bloodthirsty.
Yeah,
well,
and a big part of that comes back to the whole thing about how the concept about the animals not running on human logic.
Yeah, the animals do not act like furry people. The animals act like animals. And they go into very clearly as to what that means.
Yeah.
The forest essentially does just embrace the idea of might makes right. There is no legal system. There's just kill or just survive.
Yeah. And nobody's mightier than Coyote.
Yeah. Coyote is in charge just because nobody can topple him. He's too powerful.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
Which related to, and if you talk about head, you also have to get to Isengrin. So
yeah, Isengrin is this kind of wolf. Is basically Coyote's main servant. He's this kind of very powerful, very old wolf spirit. Yeah.
Who is? He's interesting because at first glance he seems really one note.
Oh yes, that's a good point. Actually, I should draw him in color.
Yeah. He's one of those interesting characters in the comic just because he just has so much hidden depth to him.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. So essentially, he's kind of a he's very he runs off the animal logic even more than Coyote does.
Yeah. It's for him, just might makes right, and also he's presented as kind of being the foil for Coyote.
he's much more serious than Coyote. He's very territorial, and he's the one who really takes up the grievances with the court and is like the big cause like conflict there. It's like Coyote just kind of plays on with whatever happens.
Yeah, just for his own amusement and no other reason.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, Isengrin is very like he walks this tricky line of where he questions Coyote and like fully realizes his issues, but at the same time he's fanatically loyal to him.
Yeah. Again, it's just like that's animal mentality. Coyote is the strongest. Coyote isn't like you. If he tries to challenge Coyote in anything, he will lose. So kind of the only route to survival is just to, because there's no principle when you're an animal. It's just survive. Yeah. And so his only option is just obey Coyote.
Yeah, and even just outside of that, he just seems to like be legitimately just very devoted to him.
And at a point, like, okay, did Coyote have some kind of hand in this? Because Coyote, again, as we said, is a horrible and disturbing, frightening character. Is he? He's well aware of the fact that Isengrin is this loyal to him and feels nothing. He's like completely willing to fuck around with him as much as he wants.
Yeah.
And this is coming out.
He seems to like messing with him more than he likes messing with anybody else.
Yeah, it's oh god, that looks terrible. Okay, let's try this again. Oh wait, I know the perfect picture. Okay, keep talking.
Yeah, so yeah, Isengrin is like a lot of the comment is about their relationship. And also about you just kind of getting a better feel for what Isengrin's like and like what he has kind of hidden under the surface. Because at first glance, he's just kind of like this brutish, like, thud.
Yeah.
But you kind of get to know him as like this very, like, this very wise, sort of like ancient figure who just like understands how people think. Like even with Coyote, he realizes full well that he's dangerous and like treats him like garbage. It's just he's loyal to him anyway.
Yeah, honestly, oh, holy shit! I just realized the perfect metaphor. Have any of you ever had like a really, really old dog? Because like he's like he's perfectly like a dog who's perfectly loyal to someone even if they do mistreat him. And once they reach this kind of like point of age, like not to the point where like no fur pissing on the carpet can't move anymore, but like after they reach this sort of certain age, they become like this kind of noble, seen it all, very intelligent kind of creature. That's kind of what Isengrin is.
Yeah, including him being an old dog.
Yeah, he literally is an old dog, and it's like, yeah, and he that basically is his position on everything.
How many more characters to go into? Like, there's still a lot. I just don't think we should go into all of them.
I think we hit all the ones that we really need to go. Well, except for that one who shows up later that we have to talk about.
Should we talk about Surma?
The thing is, the interesting thing about Surma is really terrible. I'm sorry. Like, because what's interesting about Surma is like the stuff she brings out of Renard and the stuff she brings out of
yeah.
Like if we oh shit.
Again, this goes back to how everything is so interconnected in this comic. You just don't know where to stop.
It's written so well. I think we got to stop here, buddy.
Okay, yeah, I think we need to get into the actual content because we've done nothing but introduce it for the past hour.
And gosh.
Yeah.
I guess we should talk about like there's a character also.
Maybe we should go into Jean.
Oh yeah.
And I think we kind of hit the basics of that.
Yeah, we hit the basics of that. I don't think we need to hit that, but like there was a character I wanted to talk about my annoyance with because I didn't like her that much. Should we talk about her?
I'm not even clear on who you're talking about.
I don't even remember her name.
Is it Zimmy?
Yeah. Wait, is that her or the girl who's with her? Because
Zimmy's the girl with the dunk. Dama's the girl who's with her.
Yeah, it's Zimmy. I didn't like her very much.
I like Zimmy.
But it's like but the thing is, like, she doesn't really play any kind of part into the. Well, I shouldn't say that because like my favorite character is Mort. He played very little part into the overall plot.
Yeah, at least Zimmy was actually central to one of the story arcs.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, oh shit,
Yeah.
that's
I like Zimmy.
Yeah, she's. I don't know because like I guess we could probably skip over her.
Yeah.
If we hadn't been running so long, I'd say get into her, but otherwise no.
Yeah. Just to give some context, Zimmy's kind of this like bitter, misanthropic girl with like don't over her eyes and weird powers.
And shark teeth.
Yeah. So, I like her. Adam doesn't. Moving on.
Yeah. Okay, going into the artwork, which holy fuck, the artwork on this is good. Like, and it's kind of appropriate we're talking about this as a... Wait, should we go in... I feel like I jumped the gun.
What?
You want to go into the artwork now? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good for the artwork.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
I just feel like kind of a dick for, like, going straight into that without asking you first.
Yeah, it's cool.
Because I don't want to take this over or anything.
Okay, so... Yeah, the artwork is... It kind of takes a little while to find its footing, but that's the weird thing about the art is, like, even whenever it's weird and different at the start, it's still really good.
Yeah, compared to a lot of other webcomics, our own included, it's still amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, yeah... What?
Shit, like, there's an early sequence, like, the art is, like, this is, like, the first or second chapter where a character has to cross a bridge. And it's so good. It's, like, the atmosphere and everything, and...
Yeah, the comic is very good at, like, invoking atmosphere at that time, and also just making character designs just pop. Like, a lot of the character design, even once the art kind of matures, is very basic, but at the same time, it's just, like, they just strike this nice balance where everybody looks very clear and just, like, crisp and just different.
Yeah, and, like, you can feel, like, and character shines through. Like, you can just look at a character design, like, know who, like, kind of get a sense of, like, who that person is.
Yeah. It's like, I'll go ahead and throw a nod to Isengren on that. Just as, like, his design is just so good at, like, sort of like whenever you see it, depending on what context you're seeing it in, just communicating so many different things about the character.
Yeah, which, almost like an animal, because, you know, an angry. If you look at a picture of a dog who's angry and a dog who's sad, like they look like completely different animals.
Yeah. So just the art's very nice. Like we said before, it starts out weird, but even at the start, it's still very good.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah, Isengren, I think more than anyone else, is a very multi-dimensional character.
Yeah.
Like, he can switch from being just, like, this stoic, kind of asshole-ish, like, distant, aloof person to being, like, a kind of kindly, gentle teacher and sort of father figure to being, like, this sort of insane, unstoppable animal who just wants to kill everything. And, like, all of these flesh together perfectly.
Yeah, and it's all really captured in his design. Like,
yeah, like, the design is so basic, but he can switch from one mode to the other so easily.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's... one other thing the comic is very good about is, like, you're never likely to get anybody confused.
Yeah, I can't
except Ed Lamar.
Yeah, except for that guy, whoever he is.
Everybody just has very distinct, just instantly memorable designs that way, and like without clashing with each other in like weird ways or anything either.
Yeah, like nobody looks out of place.
Yeah. Other than Coyote, but that's kind of the point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just the artwork is just incredible. The scenery is great in ways I can't even compare to, like, it's just... Oh, shit, we should talk about the monsters.
True.
I'm going to bring up some Psychopomp pictures, because we mentioned, you know...
Yeah, I was about to go off on the, what did I say? Yeah, I was about to go off on the.
Like this is.
Oh yeah, right. On the etheric stuff.
Yeah, this is one of the characters that we see in the afterlife. Like, if you asked me to draw this, I wouldn't even know where to start. Like,
Yeah.
what was the idea when he sat down to do this?
I like that that's not even for a story page. That's filler.
That's fucking filler. Just like, this isn't even part of the story.
Yeah. Doodle around and see if you can find... Here, let me see if I can find it. I can get more spoilery terms than you can.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I can't...
Like, I think you know what I'm talking about.
I think so. This is really throwing me off. Like, I can't get into... Wait, do you mean like that Mecha Angel thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that.
Okay.
Like,
I was wanting to find it without using spoilery terms.
Like, look at this! Actually, this might not be a good thing, because I think... you showed me this before I had read the comic, and I'm like, I didn't even really know what I was looking at.
Yeah.
It's just so good! Like, how does this person do this?
It's like... Yeah, it's like... You know, I think I could do a shoddy recreation of that thing, but it would take me a while.
It would take forever, and it wouldn't be like, if we were to try this ourselves, it wouldn't be anywhere near as good.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, see if you can find some of the etheric stuff, just because, like, that's another stuff they do with Antimony's hair.
Oh, yeah. Everything okay?
Yeah, I just kind of hit my hand against the desk.
Oh, sorry.
Eh.
But yeah, like, Antimony's thing is that she's kind of got, like, a fire motif, and, like, when she goes into, like, the, wait, I got it. When she goes into, like, kind of the spirit world, like, sort of, like, reaches out with her mind and tries to use her thoughts, like, her hair becomes like fire, and I can't find it. I can't find a particularly good shot. Well, there's the pony version, but not quite what I'm looking for.
There was one a little bit further down. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There. Just look at that.
Yeah.
The sunglasses look very weirdly stupid, but other than that, wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably one from one of the fan Photoshop threads.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's all we can talk about in art. It's just so good.
While we were talking about the characters, we should have talked about Modspot.
What's that?
So while we were talking about the characters, we should have talked about Modspot.
Oh shit. Oh no, that's kind of one of my complaints about the comic. Because like, yeah, I get the joke, but it kind of takes it too far to the point where it's not funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. This point is. The art is another thing we didn't sign off on. Yeah. I will go ahead and throw out the comment that I think every now and then it's... Like, this is only really a complaint with the main art style, not with the etheric stuff, which tends to go, like, really far in the opposite direction. But I think its shading can come off a little distracting, and, like, how often it just uses straight-up black.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. But it said that's a pretty minor thing, and it works for the art style.
Oh yeah.
What is with all the pictures that keep showing up of that doll?
I know, that's really weird, because that was probably like the low point of the comic.
Yeah, plus she's only in one chapter. Okay, so yeah, should we move on to like the general rambling about nothing for an hour portion of the...
Most likely. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Like, yeah, general world, like, actually, I don't even think I know what we're talking about here.
I was just thinking discussing any lingering issues we want to talk about, and just, like, going a little bit more into specifics on everything.
Okay, I have to think on this, because I think a lot of what I particularly admire, without getting into spoiler territory, was in the points we already covered, like, the stuff about the cast and about,
Yeah, well, I sort of like how, like, given the nature of this comic, I figured it would probably be useful to, like, go a bit more into specifics on some of the events that have occurred and, like, talking about those.
Okay, let me think.
Might as well go ahead and throw out the spoiler warning thing here.
Yeah, okay. This is an amazing comic. Go read it. If you haven't, if you don't plan on reading it or don't care about spoilers, keep listening. But it's an amazing comic. We fully recommend it.
Yeah.
And right now, turn back now because this is where we're getting into spoiler territory. Starting with me checking the first page.
Yeah. Which, that's one of those pages of just like, oh man, I want to see more of this.
I hate when those come on Friday. Let's see.
Yeah, it's like I was regretting seeing it immediately after I did because it's one of those things like, I want to talk about this, biting my tongue.
What the shit?
Yeah.
Is that Coyote behind him?
I don't think it's supposed to be, but
It's very suspect, because this is exactly the kind of thing Coyote would do.
yeah.
And plus, you know that for him, Coyote would look like an actual coyote, or close to it.
True, probably. Anyways, one thing I did want to talk about with the comic or whatever that is kind of commendable is how, to date, it's only really had one actual villain.
I can't even really... Oh, right, the spider thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only bad guy the comic ever had.
Yeah, well, pretty much. It's like there are other characters who kind of stepped in antagonist roles or kind of have, like, clearly, like, evil intentions. Okay, too, that petty chick was also a villain.
Ah, fuck that.
Ugh.
Yeah, but, yeah, I mean, it seems kind of unfair, because, like, yeah, you know for a fact that the only reason Coyote isn't a villain yet is because, like, either he's going to do something really horrible, or he plans to anyway.
Yeah. Or he's just not focused enough to do something horrible.
Or he's just waiting for it.
Yeah. He's already done some pretty horrible things. It's just
Really?
he's not. Yeah. Like, seriously, that one scene with him and Isotrain is so horrific.
It really is.
Okay, so. I had a pretty clear idea of this whole segment on the in the outline, but I should get into it. It's just like, I don't know how much more there is to talk about.
Yeah, because we talked about all the stuff that we really love. I guess we should talk about. I guess we should talk about some of the favorite moments that we were talking about. I think we both know where to start.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, we have to go to the tree.
Okay. This thing happened when there's a moment in the comic that's so amazingly good that both me and Martin, even though we read it like apart from each other, like at different times, like I remember reading this part and thinking like, oh my god, this one part is so good. He's like, yeah, that's the part when I knew it was going to be a good comic, and like we both understood. Now we're hooked.
Yeah.
I gotta find it. I think I know. Yeah,
I think it was in chapter 6 or 7.
Yeah, it was Handful of Dirt. That was the chapter.
Yeah.
Like you wanna run through like what this was?
Okay, essentially it's kind of a light, just kind of comedy chapter. Well, not even comedy, really, just kind of like all heartwarming, just kind of quick little thing. Just happening, like hanging out. Like they just go to this like little like indoor sanctum thing with like a bunch of trees and stuff, and just hang out, play, joke, just have fun. And then just in the middle of the scene, in a way that is very well done, just feels very natural, just Antonio just breaks down crying about how much she misses her mom.
Yeah.
And it's really the first real show of emotion you get out of her.
Yeah. It's like, it's just so sudden, because it's like all this happiness, all this laughter, like, oh, we're playing with cherries and we're hitting each other with cherries, and then all of a sudden just burst into tears, and it's so amazingly touching and sad. It
feels so realistic.
It really does, because you're thinking like, okay, she has been suppressing her emotions since the beginning of the comic, and this is the first time they've come through, and like they all come through.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like she has that moment of just like real genuine like happiness, like outgoingness, or whatever, and then she just breaks from it.
Yeah, and it just like the suddenness of it and the juxtaposition, it just gets to you. Like even just reading this, I feel like just so touched from that one moment.
Yeah.
It was just so beautiful. It was like, yeah, like I cannot remember a single other webcomic that ever like got me in the heart the same way that this one did right there.
Yeah, I can't think of any other webcomic that's as good about working emotions as this one is.
Yeah, like I can't even think of any. Yeah, nothing even comes close.
Yeah.
That includes our own webcomics. I'm less emotionally stirred by the stuff I write.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the author knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I had to look up his commentary on this chapter later.
Well, yeah. Like I kind of keep forgetting that's the thing, because yeah, if I'm ever gonna look up a commentary on a chapter, it's gonna be this one. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And were there any other like moments for you that you wanted to bring up specifically?
I'm sure there's going to be something I've never read if I don't. But
I can think of a couple. The other one is like one of the other ones for me specifically is the one for Mort.
yeah, that's yeah. Let's go ahead and go into that one then. Yeah, because that's another really good one. What?
I feel like it's kind of disjarring because that the moment with the cherry tree and like the crying was like really early in the comic, and this is pretty late.
Yeah.
This is like over 1,000 pages later.
Yeah. Like, okay, so spoiler alert, Mort like goes super dead.
Okay, I'm using that terminology every single time I have to say that. Like, it's not crossing over, it's not moving on, it's super tough.
Yeah.
Like
Mort's gone.
Yeah, like he goes into the place, like he stops being a ghost. He just becomes regular. He just becomes a regular dead person.
Yeah, which in this comic means you're basically like recycled into the ether.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they've touched on that here and there.
Okay.
They don't go that much into detail on it, but yeah, it's basically just like everything comes from the ether and everything eventually goes back to there. That's the purpose of the cyclophones.
Okay, and yeah, so he comes up to Annie, just says like, you know, I'm like, you know, I think it's time for me to go there because you know they've been friends for a long time and they've been very close for everybody. So like, you and Kat are getting older and I'm not. And like when he says that, you're like, holy crap, Mort is a little boy.
Yeah.
Because from his mannerisms and the way he acts, like, it's kind of clear, but you don't really think about it because he's a bedsheet ghost.
Yeah.
And like after he says that, we get this like little flashback chapter here where it shows like how he died, and it turns out he was in, I think it was World War I.
It is World War II, I think.
Okay. Well, it was yeah. It's just like London was being bombed, and
it might have been World War One. I'm not. Yeah, I don't remember entirely, but yeah. The point is, London was being bombed, and he didn't make it.
Yeah, he sees, and it's so tragic the way it happened because he was going to get to the bomb shelter, but then he sees Jones, who, incidentally, as long as we're going into spoilers,
yeah,
Jones
we'll need to go into that chapter. Yeah.
Yeah, Jones is immortal, by the way. Spoilers. Like she's been alive throughout longer since the formation of the Earth. Anyway, like yeah. So he just sees her running. It's just like, oh, lady, the bomb's gonna fall. The shelter's the other way, and you know, and he tries to help her, but it's just she's going to be fine, and he's not. He dies, and it's
yeah. And it's also a really nice one where he doesn't realize he's dead.
Yeah. And it's like it's so like. Just everything about this chapter, like seeing the way it actually happened, was really sad. Yeah. And you know when he actually has to, we mentioned that Antimony had learned how to guide people to the afterlife, and he wanted her to. Oh, actually, I do really like this moment. I'm sorry. It's like, you know, as long as you're turning into a ghost, you can look like whatever you want to look like. Oh, I know what a ghost looks like. I dressed up as one once. I had a bed sheet.
Yeah.
That's why he's a bed sheet ghost.
Yeah.
It's just like that's what he thought they looked like.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the scene where like Mort's taken off or whatever is just gets to you.
It's just ugh.
Yeah, like especially Kat's reaction to it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah, just you see. I also like how I also like that as he goes into like the ether, like as he goes into the Ospot, he goes back to being a little boy.
Yeah.
Like again, it's just like it's just kind of tragic when you remember like, oh, even though you know he's dead, like knowing that he died as a kid is so much sadder.
Yeah. And I think about how like while they're going into ether they lose their memories or whatever too, it just hurts you.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just seeing it's just so impossibly sad. But and again it just like I'm trying to find the at the very very end where she comes back in and yeah, it's just because again Mort was my favorite character and he was so like every time he showed up I was smiling and then he was gone.
Yeah.
He's never coming back.
Yeah, yeah, that's just a really good chapter in general, and I do really like that touch too of the fact that his death was completely meaningless.
And this is like and kind of a double punch to it is like they mentioned several times that Mort is scaring people for a reason. Like Mort is like, no, I have a job. Like scaring people is very very important. And then Antimony finds out, like she doesn't tell Mort, but she finds out that like he kind of just got that job because like because it was World War II, there were a lot of ghosts being made, and like the bureaucracy that controls the ghosts, like just didn't really have time for him.
Yeah.
So they kind of just said like, here, sit in the basement of this school and like scare people. It's real important that you scare people.
Yeah,
and, like,
there was also that Jones insisted he be given some sort of role to do something just because his death wasn't right.
Yeah, yeah, he was just stuck. And like so even after his life after his death was meaningless too.
Yeah.
And it's so, like that's just so kind of so tragic, but he was such a likable person. You just are so sad to see him go.
Yeah. Yeah. Should we talk about the Jones chapter?
I think so, because I think generally, like, actually, even without having seen that in, like, because even having known that was coming, like, I could still, like, say, like, from a storytelling perspective, that was really stupid. Yeah. Like, from like, a web, in this format.
Yeah, that's the thing. On rereading, it works much better. If you're reading it in archives all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, but like even for me doing that from the recap, I'm like, okay, how much further is this going to keep going? Yeah. Although that did kind of add to like the holy shit factor of it.
Yeah. Okay, so basically,
we probably should have talked about this first.
Yeah.
Like, well, not before the cherry thing, but before the Mort thing, because I spoiled it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we'd already kind of beat around the bush on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so essentially, Jones is... Okay, where the question hangs over the top for a long time, well, like, what is Jones? Eventually, you didn't answer.
Yeah. Okay, it turns out that Jones is immortal, and the way this is presented is that we get this chapter where Antimony says, "Who are you?" and then it cuts to the previous day, and we see what Jones was doing that day. And then it cuts to the previous week. And then it cuts to a couple of years ago. And then it cuts to several years ago when Eglamour was like it cuts to like when she was trying to comfort Eglamour after his girlfriend left him. Then it cuts to when she was picking up Eglamour, like several years earlier, when she was picking up Eglamour to live in the school. Like when Eglamour was a little boy and she was still the same age. And then it cuts to a couple of decades later when the hell is this?
Yeah. I think that was the same outfit she was wearing that chapter with Mort.
No, this wasn't the same one, I don't think. But yeah, like several decades later, when a character when someone she cared about died. Several decades earlier than that, when she was arrested for being a witch or something. Just like, and going back and back and back and back, like in further and further increments of time.
Yeah. Until eventually you reach the point that she has been around since before the creation of the Earth.
Yeah, like when Earth was a molten mass, that's when she first became conscious.
Yeah.
So and she's basically immortal. Nothing can kill her.
Yeah,
Nothing can even break her skin.
Yeah. Yeah, a little example of that in the form of background guide is where they show an X-ray being taken of her.
Yeah.
You can see if the X-ray is completely solid because it like the X-rays couldn't break her skin long enough to be able to read of it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think like it is kind of just a holy shit factor going to every single page and thinking like, oh my god, how old is this lady?
Yeah, I really love that shot of Antoni.
Yeah, it's just like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I think on rereading it, that chapter is very good, but following it at the time is really frustrating.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, how much longer is this going to go on?
We get it. Like every page is just kind of like, yeah, I get it.
We get it. She's old. But yeah, like she's just this strange. Yeah, it's just so. Like, yeah, again, it's just like we're not given an answer as to what exactly she is. She's just.
Yeah, she doesn't even know.
Yeah, even she doesn't know. She's just like, yeah, I woke up once when I was I woke up when Earth was a molten mass, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I've just been kind of waiting around for an answer to come, and it just doesn't. And it's one of those, and it's presented in a way that's not like, no, I want an answer, and more just, okay, I'd be perfectly fine if we never had an answer to this.
Yeah.
Because the world it creates is just almost like a Quentin Tarantino-esque world where you're like, you understand that not everything needs an answer.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on what to expect out of that. It just feels like, on one hand, that seems like the kind of thing that is going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
But on the other,
oh, sorry.
It wouldn't. With this kind of content, it wouldn't surprise me if that's just left hanging.
Yeah. It would be acceptable. Like I think it would be perfectly acceptable to not find out where this is going.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I think I'd go either way on it. It's just like I don't know which to expect.
Yeah.
In general, this content is very hard to predict.
It really is, and I don't know. Any moments that you wanted to talk about other than that? Because there was one more. It's kind of like a general thing. Well, for me,
part of me wants to touch on Andrew and Parley, but at the same time, they're not really that important enough to really devote the time to, given how much we've already talked.
Well, okay, that actually does fit in with what I wanted to talk about, because this is less of a moment and more just like kind of something that I think I find really touching. Is like I really really love Antimony's class.
Yeah.
I think to me that was the biggest blow of like the recent unpleasantness is that we'll be seeing less of. Why am I even still tiptoeing around this?
Given what big deal we made about that thing, pretty more big shake up that is.
True.
I'd probably hold off on that until we get talk about what else upcoming.
Yeah. But yeah, like there are a lot of chapters that are just about they're like not a lot, but like a decent number that are just about the class, like Antimony's classmates and her all just hanging out somewhere, like in a basement or going camping. And I love every single one of these chapters. Like these are probably some of my favorites, just because of like they really capture this kind of like school classroom romance friendliness kind of vibe.
Yeah, and I like how even like the minor background characters who barely show up get character development.
Yeah, they do. Like each time you see them, it just feels great. And like, it's hard for me to put into words, but it's always been like kind of a feeling I like of just like a bunch of like children or kids just together with a sort of unstated like beautiful group friendship.
Yeah.
If you Like that kind of informs a number of stuff I've been trying to write, one in particular. But yeah, it's just like where is it? Is it 3 stories or something?
I forget what it was. Here, let me say it. It's like Far Off Morning, I think.
It's the one where like, the hookup happens, but
oh, here, one second. If you're looking for the one with the Far Away Morning is the one that's just about the class, just hanging out at night.
Okay, yeah, that was it. Like and again, it happens at night. That's just a thing that I just love. It's just, God, I just find that stuff so good. And the fact that it's secret and almost like a clubhouse, it's like there's just so much of this that I like.
Yeah. I just remembered a complaint I'm gonna have to get to when I get to negatives.
Is it about the hookup?
No.
Well, I might complain about that, but okay.
No, the complaint is about the site layout.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of starting to realize that now too. But yeah, like what were we saying?
Yeah, talking about the class.
Yeah, it's just good. Like I don't want to get into too much more detail on it.
Yeah, it's just like all sorts of different people you meet throughout the story are just likable.
It's like, even though this is a story about a technological super school and a forest filled with monstrous creatures, everything feels real.
Yeah.
It's like all of this could really happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Like the characters I was talking about, Parkley and Smitty or Andrew. It goes by to more than what his primary name is.
Oh yeah, that's a weird point.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Parley and Andrew. They're the other people who are going for the role of medium.
Yeah.
And it's two characters whose relationship I like a lot.
Yeah, it's like one is like almost to a ridiculous degree like a dull kind of stick in the mud kind of character. Well, not stick in the mud, more
He's kind of straight-laced.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other's like very. I don't really want to use fiery because I don't think that's really quite the right word. It's more very what is the term for that? Like, I don't know how you describe her.
Yeah.
Maybe jumpy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know how to properly describe it.
Yeah, either way, she's just how constantly hitting up and stuff, but is naturally quite blatantly head over heels for him.
Yeah, and like just the way they play off each other is just great.
Yeah, and one thing that's really refreshing with it is the fact that they actually hook up relatively early in.
Yeah, they don't do a whole will they won't they bullshit. They like say. They say, no, these two people are great and they have a great relationship, and let's just see what their relationship is like.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not afraid to make them a couple.
Yeah. And it doesn't dance around it before it reveals it either. It's just like, it's pretty straightforward about it even long before they actually come out and say it.
Yeah. It's just great.
Yeah. I think that's about all I've got talk about random story stuff. How about you?
I think that's about it. So I guess we go into the big elephant in the room. Like if you've been reading the comic, you know what we've been building up to when we say a big shakeup.
Yeah. So everything is different now.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we've complained a lot before about webcomics that fuck up the whole status quo thing.
Yeah, don't have enough of one for it to matter when a big change happens.
Yeah, it's like if you have too many big changes, you kind of stop caring.
Yeah.
You have to have a status quo before you can shake the status quo. And this one, even though a lot of big changes, like minor changes and progressions happen, you do finally get there is a very clear and noted status quo for the comic.
Yeah, it's like at the end of the day, Cat and Anno are your best friends. They go to school and stuff. They move on to the next year eventually, and they investigate mysteries, and occasionally Antimo goes to the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, then... Okay, here's the big flash, and, like, seriously, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Okay. Turn back now.
Yeah.
We mentioned Antimony's dad comes back.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's just very, like, not build up at all. Just we go into a chapter, like, okay, a chapter opens up, and it's the new school year, and her dad is one of the teachers.
Yeah.
What the shit?
Yeah. Because I remember you weren't reading it yet at the time, and I was just kind of like,
What the shit? Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
Yeah, I remember you weren't quite, like, processing or whatever, but yeah. Once you actually reach that point in the story, though, you're just like, oh my god.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's one of those really stunning moments, because it's like, by his absence, this guy has informed a big part of her character, and then he just suddenly shows up. So you know,
it's like he had figured into a couple of things before that, but this is the first time he actually appeared.
Yeah, like there was some stuff involving him, but nothing really real. Like he hasn't been present. Just you know, by the act of showing up, this has to have a huge impact on her and on just the format and everything. It's just like this was. Okay, this was the page we showed up was 1487. We're over 100. We're like very nearly 100 pages later. We're still dealing with just the fallout from him showing up.
Yeah, seriously, just everything changes immediately because he just brings like this tidal wave of just screwing everything up.
Yeah. And it's just like, and it doesn't feel like it's just being done for the shock or for the sake of anything.
Yeah, it feels like this was the logical place in the story to do it.
Yeah, and it's just, and we're serious, like every single comic that comes up for involving him is just like, we're on the edge of our seats.
Yeah.
Because there's no danger, there's no horrible stuff, but it's just like, there's so much amazing character stuff going on with him, and so many mysteries and so many open questions that it's amazing how invested we can get in this.
Yeah, because in the same time since he's shown up, he has, let's see, he got Antimo demoted a grade.
Yeah, like we said, we're gonna have to have a minor debate about handling in a second, but like we said, Antimony has been cheating on her homework. She's basically been wholesale copying all of Kat's homework.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, okay, you're very obviously cheating. You don't deserve to go up to the next grade. You're going down a grade, and that of course screws up that thing I was gushing about a minute ago with the classmates.
Yeah. They've still appeared since then.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's that. There's the.
He moved her out of the dorms.
Yeah, he cut her off from the forest entirely.
Yeah, she's not going to the forest anymore. She can't see the coyote or see Isengrin.
Yeah.
He took Reynard away from her.
Yeah. In general, he just like screwed it and just changed everything.
Yeah, like every single status quo that the comic had been building up is gone. It's just gone. It's so like this is what we mean by shaking up the status quo. This is legitimately shocking.
Yeah, and it's just like that, and it hasn't taken an easy way out either.
No, it's not like, and it's one of those things where like to make a good comparison, like imagine if Uncle Ben showed up in Spider-Man, like imagine if he came back, if he turned up to, oh hey, I'm still alive, but like if that happened because it's such an iconic part of the character, it would just be hand waved away at some point. Like, oh, it was just it was whatever, it was a scroll or something. But no, this is going full on all of the heaviest parts of this idea.
Yeah, and it's just kept going, just had several chapters in a row devoted entirely to this subject.
Yeah, and we're still not done. We're still dealing with this, and it doesn't feel drawn.
We're only now figuring out his side of, like, some of his side of the story.
Yeah. Up until now, I've kind of been willing to give him the benefit of a doubt, but like he's in general just been kind of he's giving nothing. He's just saying like, okay, you're not going up a grade. Give me Reynard. You're not going into the forest. Like, no explanation for anything.
Yeah. While also just being absolutely terrible about a lot of it.
Yeah, it kind of is. Shit. I wonder it's been slow. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, so just like, it's a really daring move for a taunt. It just upends everything.
It really is. It's just stunning.
It's like the taunt bears no resemblance to how it looked like even just a couple, like 3 or 4 chapters ago at this point.
No, it's complete. It just shook up. We can't stress enough just how big of a change this is.
Yeah.
What the shit?
And it's just, I said it's something I've never really seen a web taunt do like that.
Yeah.
Like, especially whenever it's like, you know, I said before, I read Misfile.
Yeah.
Misfile is just like, I would kill to see something like this happen in Misfile.
Yeah, like that's our main problem with like a lot of comics. Like either there's no status quo or there's too much status quo. But this hit it perfectly. This was just incredible.
It helped that it kind of did it at a time when you were starting to get comfortable.
Yeah, it's like everything was coming up roses and then gone.
Yeah.
Like everything's coming up roses and then bring in the lawnmower.
Yeah.
And what's also been really incredible is like because of the way that he's being presented, like as we said, it's very he's been very closed-lipped about where he's been, what he's doing, what his motives are. Like there's a fairly big debate about whether or not he's a good guy or if he might be a villain.
Yeah.
Even if it's really him.
Yeah, which by now we're kind of starting to get some answers on that.
Yeah, but for a while it was really just giant question mark.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really welcome change of pace to just see something like that at a time.
Yeah, it's stunning. It's just great.
Yeah. It also tells you to with the tantrums, but if you're genuinely concerned about how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, like I love Kat and Annie together. Like I don't want them to not live together anymore. I want them to still be friends. Like it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's so good. This was one of the best plot. Again, it's just such a great plot twist.
Yeah. And like I still really don't know how this is going to work itself out, or if it even will.
Yeah, we really don't know.
It's like, yeah, obviously at some point in time she's going to go back to the forest.
At some either she's going to go back to the forest, or I'm honestly surprised this hadn't happened yet. Coyote's going to come in for her.
I wanted to say there was a mention of the fact that Coyote won her.
Yeah. There's I think it's just around the point where I'm binging right now. I'm like I've been flipping through the chapter. Just hang on. And like one of the weirder things is like the subtle way that this is affecting her, because it's and that's one of the creepier parts. It's just like you can really tell like there's a lot of like oh, hang on, damn it, that mention of the coyote is here somewhere. But yeah, like you can tell there's just like she has like a lot of her confidence shaken by him, and just how scary a lot of this is. It's really creepy.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Should we talk about other questions for our future, or is that kind of just the big one right now?
Yeah, he says like Coyote is not happy about all this. Some are saying Isengrin thinks you're being held against your will.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, I could honestly see just having a page where out of nowhere Isengrin and Coyote come in.
I could see that.
Like, holy shit! Actually, antimony is in ethereal form right now. They could probably come in under the radar and find her.
True.
And there are a couple of points. One thing that I wanted to point out for Carver is that, like, adding to the complexity. This is partially because we don't really know anything about him. He's not. Some of the things he's doing are kind of objectively probably right.
Yeah. Some are. It's like, yeah, cutting her off from Coyote. It's like, yeah, it's kind of cruel, but at the same time, it's very intelligent.
Yeah, because we mentioned before that Coyote is legitimately very dangerous and very malicious. One thing that really was legitimately kind of driving me nuts on Antimony was, like, she's way too trusting of him.
Yeah.
There's, like, this kind of, like, oh, you rascal Coyote, you, like, she's like, she sees him as, like, a very close friend who's just, like, whatever, wacky and friendly. It's just like, no.
Yeah, that is one thing that is rather strange. It's just, like, it'd be one thing if it were just, like, well, yeah, I've heard he's like that, but it's like, no, he's legitimately, personally tried to kill you before.
Yeah, it's like, and she sort of, and she just shrugs it off, and it's like, and it was honestly kind of nice to see him come in and say, like, no, I don't want you going to the forest anymore, because, like, good, she's been acting like an idiot.
Yeah.
And, like, at the same time, he's been such a dick about everything.
Yeah. Like, he has the single worst, like, hey, not seen you in a while I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a good point. And, like, same thing with Reynard. Like, you know, he's just like, when you actually think about it, oh yeah, Reynard, the guy who tried to fuck my wife. Like, why should I be trusting her? Right, him. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems a little unclear how aware he is of that.
Yeah, well, I get the feeling he is partially aware, because he seems to kind of have a problem with Reynard in general.
Kinda, I don't know. It seems like it might be more about reputation than about the thing with Sarah. Like, it's a little hard to tell.
Yeah.
Especially because of how it's been mentioned that Sarah didn't see him as anything but, like, a patsy.
Yeah. Plus, like, one thing that I do honestly want to see is, like, we mentioned before, Eglamour, the guy we haven't been talking about, was like the main competitor with Carver for Surma's hand, and it's just like, well, what's going on with this? Like, well, where are they feeling toward each other? Because Eglamour hasn't shown up, and I genuinely want to see, like, because I got the feeling that was a really bitter rivalry.
Yeah, most things we've heard about it indicate that.
Yeah, because, like, I love that scene where it's just like, he doesn't even get why she was attracted to him at all. Like, to him, it's like, it should have been an open question that they should have been together.
Yeah.
And it comes off as kind of creepy when he's being, and that aspect makes it kind of creepy when he's trying to be a surrogate father to Antimony.
Yeah.
It's just like, she's not really your kid.
And it's not even just a case of, like, he'll, it's not even just a case of, like, he'll talk up, like, he'll be kind of protective or anything. It's like, he will, like, literally think of her as his.
Yeah, like, he'll act like he's her dad.
Yeah.
And it's so, yeah, it's there's just an air about it that's uncomfortable. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where that'll go.
So much of this I so want to know the answer to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the big lingering question. I'll go ahead and throw out also, though, I am really curious to see where the cat thing's going.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that, too.
Because the robots can kind of vary on me a lot of the time. I find them kind of annoying, but
I think they're okay.
Yeah, as I said, they vary.
Yeah.
But I am really curious to see where that's going, because I really don't have a clue.
Yeah, I've, like, because we have that's it took me a second to figure out, like, oh yeah, the angel thing. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely want to know what's going on with this.
Yeah. To explain, in case anyone's wondering, doesn't care about spoilers. Essentially, What?
Go read it.
Yeah. Essentially, there are implications, quite a few implications actually, that by this point, the robot's worship of her is literally turning Kat into a god.
Yeah. Yeah. Holy shit, she's a... Okay, this is going to get weird, but like, when you really think about it, like, the other deities, like, other mythological creatures probably don't know that's possible. So when
They
Coyote...
might. I mean, that was the whole crux of Coyote's argument.
No, but like, they don't, I don't think even Coyote could suspect that robots could do that. Because, like,
True.
there's a chapter where, like, again, amazing artwork, Coyote says, like, I used to just be a normal, hungry, starving coyote, but then humans started wondering, like, oh, he must be a god, and so I am a god, and I always have been. And so it's like...
True, because he's talking about how great that makes humanity.
Yeah, and also kind of disease-like, and warping reality, but, like, yeah. And so, yeah, the robots are worshipping Kat, and on some degree, on some sort of ethereal plane, she's becoming a deity from their worship.
Yeah.
But, like, if that's true, then, like, I don't think Coyote could see that coming from robots. So it's like, that kind of makes Kat a wild card.
Yeah. Yeah, which means I do really love that she's, didn't, like... Even though she's kind of the secondary main character, she's kind of the one who's, like, who's really building the support network and has, like, basically people she can just call on and do whatever she pleases.
Yeah, like, because Antimony is a little bit of a loner.
Yeah.
Like, she has friends, but she doesn't depend on anyone, and Kat is the kind of person who just, like, she makes connections. And if trouble goes down, she can make some calls.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm really curious to see where that thing is going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we should get into the negatives then.
Yeah, shit, we've been gushing about this so long, I don't even know how to switch. I think...
well, we're on the subject of chat, let's talk about paths.
Yeah.
Pause, I don't know how you say your name.
Okay,
Here, I'm looking this up before we look it up, because I don't want to offend anybody.
Well, I'll go on anyway. I'm shit with names as it is.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with names. But yeah. Kat... Okay, it turns out that Kat is gay.
She's bisexual.
Oh, bisexual, okay. But, like, she gets into a relationship with another girl. Not Antimony, which I was a little bit happy about, because it felt like... No, they're friends. They're not lovers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's, like, they do love each other very, very deeply, but
yeah, they have moments where they come across as lovers, but not typically.
Yeah, it comes across that way sometimes.
Okay. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Everything all right?
Yeah, I just made sure it was... You're starting to, like, light up a bit, just trying to look something up, and went silent for a minute, so just wondering.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, and then... Yeah, I just want to say, like, her going into the relationship, like, they kind of sort of edged toward her having a relationship with another girl. Like, the two of them becoming a couple is kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, they build up the idea that they're not that far in advance, but it's... I don't know, it still just comes off very forced and just, like, out of nowhere, and I don't really actually see what it adds.
And we're not just talking about the fact that she's bisexual. It's just like, yeah, it just seems weird that she's in a relationship with this person.
Yeah, especially though she's a really minor character before that.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden this character is important and dating, like, the secondary protagonist. Like, what? Where did this come from? We don't know anything about this chick. They say...
Okay, I just looked it up and her name is pronounced Pass.
Okay, cool. Good to know. It's like, yeah, it's not that we, it's like they set it up a little bit, but it still comes off as very, very sudden and not in a good way.
Yeah, even the setup is really out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because it's just like...
It kind of feels like they had a crush already.
Yeah, it's just like, just pastime brings up, like, hey, so, I have a crush on you. And then she's like, oh,
Okay.
yeah, so I'm not gay.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of... People suddenly keep making gay jokes about Kat, and then suddenly she comes out.
Yeah.
Like, it's
also,
really weird.
Also, I didn't really like the fake out they did with Antimony at that point.
Yeah.
It felt really forced.
Yeah. At least, I will give it this. I do kind of like that, I do like that scene where Kat's talking to Renard about it.
I don't even remember that part.
It's just kind of like whenever she thinks that Antoine's taking issue with it.
Yeah?
Like, basically, she talks to him about, he's basically just saying, like, he's just kind of talking about how, like, their relationship is genuine, and he knows that, like, he knows that, like, the two are close enough that even if Antoine did take issue with this kind of thing, she would get over it and would still be her friend.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, their relationship is strong enough.
Yeah, it's like, it's a nice little moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, it's just a very weird part of the storyline that I'm not a fan of now.
Yeah. It'd be one thing if it even amounted to that much, but it really doesn't.
No, it really doesn't.
Like, at least to this point, the most we've seen so far is that Past seems to be the only human who's seen, well, besides Zemi, who's seen Kat's, like, robot angel form.
Yeah.
Which even Kat herself isn't aware of.
Yeah. Which is, again, a nice touch, because, like, one kind of nice touch is that, Kat is kind of a skeptic. Like, part of just, like, an effect of just being a child of the court.
Yeah. It's, like, not so much that she denies the existence of magic, she just more writes off its usefulness.
Yeah, which is, yeah.
And she thinks it all can be she thinks it can all be deconstructed down to just mathematical terms, basically.
Yeah. But, I just remembered, like, one of the bigger complaints that we had that we were going to go into for negatives.
Yeah, which one?
Jones. Jean.
Jean, yeah. Okay, so we haven't really talked much about the Jean thing.
Christ. Yeah, I think I gotta put this one on you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Jean's the ghost we were talking about at the start. Alright. I couldn't blame you if you forgot about that by this point.
We are at... only 2 hours.
Okay, then. I think this is still the longest one to date.
Probably. Will be by the time we're done.
Yeah. Okay, so... Let me try and make this quick. So basically, the whole ghost thing, it's like, yeah, they go through figuring out who she is and what the deal with her is. And they confront her a couple of times. I didn't feel for that. Kind of learn. Basically, by now, they know who she is. They know more or less why she's down there. There are details they're missing, but they know the gist of it.
Yeah.
They pretty much have all the available information on this subject, and yet the storyline just won't end.
Yeah, this is kind of the exception to what we were talking about for how good they do the pacing and the storyline, because
yeah, it's like all the progress that can be made on this story has been made.
Yeah, it's like, come on, this needs to end at this point.
Yeah, it's just... I don't know, it's not that disturbing because it doesn't come up that much.
Yeah.
Though it does have a way of kind of interjecting itself whenever you don't really want it to.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, like Adam and I were talking about this earlier. Like the framing for the thing that writes Mord out is just centered, like, is based, or it starts up relating to researching more on Jean and keeps coming back to that as the storyline goes along.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's a little weird.
Huh. Yeah, it's just like it's just one of those things. It's been lingering for a long time, and it's basically all set up to be finished. It's just like it hasn't been yet, and it needs to be because we're all kind of getting sick of it.
Yeah,
or at least the two of us are. Like, come on,
yeah.
get done with this.
Plus, resolving it would give Andrew and Parley more screen time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Those two are always great.
Yeah. Okay, let's see, what else in terms of negatives? Oh yeah, right, okay, site layout. One, the site layout is not very easy to navigate to begin with.
Yeah.
If only because of how the way it's structured seems to be deliberately trying to hide the filler. But also, I really don't like the fact that you have to go back a page in order to get access to drop-down menu.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
It just doesn't show up on the front page for no reason.
Oh, shit. No, keep talking.
Okay.
We're like, one character I definitely have to draw.
Alright then. See, there's no quicker way to make me run out of stuff to say than telling you to keep talking.
I'm sorry.
That's alright. I just talked about the bot spot thing.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that I found was kind of like, okay, the joke is just there are two kind of box-shaped robots.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Botspot, who is just a box to the face and arms, and there is Robots, which is a box to the face and legs.
Yeah. And it's like, and it's just like, one of them is awesome and the coolest robot ever, and everyone loves him, and the other one everyone hates.
Yeah, it's like, I kind of like the joke, but every now and then it can come off really off-putting.
Yeah, it gets kind of dark.
Yeah, what's with that page where Robots is just staring at him?
Yeah, it's just like, it comes off as kind of mean. And like,
yeah.
And yeah, I get it's supposed to be mean, but not this mean. It's just uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah. I love how we haven't even done anything to explain City Face. It's just out there.
City Face is best character.
Yeah. So, yeah, you just kind of have to read to know City Face. It's like, we're not going to go into that one. It's not even actually really related to the plot.
Yeah, City Face is a character in the comic. He's awesome. You gotta read it.
Yeah. What's that talking about? Okay. I think it says something that's really the most I'm coming up with off the top of my head for negatives. Oh, wait, okay. I just found another one. The Hetty chapter.
Yeah, that was like the low point of the comic. I legitimately did not give a shit about any of that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So, like, skip.
Basically, long and short is, okay, a chapter where Renard interacts extensively with a character in kind of a similar position to him, and you kind of see how their outlooks on the situation differ.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Another spirit trapped in a doll.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea for a chapter. If it were like chapter 10 or 15.
No. It really just kind of showed off that at this point, Reynard is mostly superfluous.
Yeah, but it was basically him having a big realization about like, this is chapter 43, and it was like him having a big realization about something that he had already kind of realized at like chapter 10.
Yeah, so it's just reinstating the point of the character development that we already knew. Like, nobody was really surprised at it, like, because this does a great job at displaying, like, new sides of characters that we didn't see coming, and making it feel natural, like, but this one's just like, we all already knew this. We didn't need this chapter at all.
Yeah, and yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's just not a very good chapter. It's like, yeah, okay, every time it's not have a bad chapter.
Yeah.
And it's like I talked to some other fans too. Some other fans didn't like this chapter either.
Yeah. It's just like, come on, this, come on, you could do better.
I like that even with this chapter where I didn't even bother following along as it was going on after a point. I did go back and read it later, so I'm not judging that sight unseen. I like how even with this, I have to think of at least one thing I liked.
Which one was that?
The filler afterward where they explain the details on what the doll is.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah. Like, yeah, they make it clear this doll, this girl in, it's not for kids.
Is that like the entire explanation? Because I kind of like it if it was.
There's a filler that comes after that chapter ends that just shows that the doll's actually made, like, its actual purpose is like hiding drug paraphernalia.
Okay, that's not the answer I was thinking about getting. Wow.
Yeah.
Bird legs are something I've always struggled with.
This might be the biggest set of these we've done.
Yeah, I was thinking that earlier, and that's like after I did Coyote, I kind of stopped for a long time.
Never did do Jones.
I'll pass on Jones. I'd rather do something like Ice and Grin.
Yeah, we've drawn Jones before.
Yeah. Wait, have we?
Yeah.
What was this?
Choosing one that sets a filler, I think.
Huh.
Right, both Antimony and Coyote have been in those sets too, so.
Yeah, Coyote was in there. Okay, but yeah, City Faces. Yeah, City Face is awesome. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go into that. No. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't hurt to mention it. This is a pretty minor complaint, but I guess it doesn't hurt to mention it. As we mentioned before, the comic does take a while to find its footing.
Yeah, like some of the other ones are like kind of off.
Yeah, it's still good. It's just at the beginning, it's like the tone and the presentation just aren't quite right.
Yeah, it's
and
like,
the art's weird.
But when it gets going, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of it. I think we're tapped out. Are we?
I'm feeling like there was something else I meant to mention on negative, so I'm really blanking.
Shit. Okay. Site layout, Gene. This is gonna happen like as soon as we hit the stop record button.
Yeah. And still, it should tell everyone listening that a lot that we are having to stretch this much.
Yeah. It's just so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should maybe just call it quits then. Because actually, all of a sudden, I'm feeling really tired.
Yeah, I'm kind of like I want to get a walk, run around outside somewhere.
Yeah, I want to lay down a few hours.
Yeah, I guess just to sum up, we cannot stress enough how much we have enjoyed this webcomic.
Yeah, it's a long read, but it's a quick read.
Yeah, it's a fucking awesome read.
Yeah,
this is worth every. Like, this is honestly just, again, I think I realized a couple of weeks ago, for some reason, like, I am probably never going to read another webcomic I've enjoyed as much as this one.
Yeah.
Like, ever.
Yeah, this comic is just really impressive in general.
It's like the paragon.
Yeah. Yeah, so... It occurs to me this would probably make for, like, a really good, like... Did somebody, like, HBO or something get around to making, like, a series of this?
Fuck yeah! Like, no, fuck HBO. Hayao Miyazaki's not going to be retired forever. Everyone knows that he's going to come out of retirement. Get him on this.
I don't know. It seems like they'd work better as a miniseries than as a movie.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, Studio Ghibli can do miniseries sometimes. I think they could do a good job on this.
Yeah, get Netflix on it if nothing else.
Yeah, Netflix. I'm sure they've got tons of money sitting around.
Yeah. Seriously, somebody adapt this.
Somebody do this. It's so good. It's like
Jared, it's one of those things that.
Also, wait. This is random, but I want to bring this up. Like, it's really easy to hear the voices of these characters.
It really is.
Yeah, you just know what some of these characters sound like in your brain.
Yeah, and this is kind of why I've never really looked into the fan dub.
Yeah, it's like, whatever they come up with, it's gonna sound wrong.
Yeah.
Unless they get someone who sounds like Johnny Cage to voice the Coyote.
I don't really hear it.
Because of The Simpsons, it's in my brain. Johnny Cage is the voice of the Coyote.
Yeah, I think I know the episode you're talking about.
Yeah, the Space Coyote.
Yeah. Like, I picture Coyote more kind of having a kind of a high-pitched jackal kind of voice.
Yeah. It mainly, that is kind of the way I hear it in, my favorite Coyote line, the how awkward bit.
Yeah.
It's like, Carver is the father. Like, oh, in that case, how awkward. That was a terrible laugh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I really want the comment at some point to address, okay, so why are two figures from, French folk tales and a piece of Native American anthology hanging out in a random forest in somewhere in the UK?
Yeah, what the shit?
Yeah. And somewhere in the UK is the best description we can give you, because the time and the setting are really vague.
Yeah, that's honest. Oh shit, that's a negative I've actually had with this thing. It's like, because it feels weird, because it's like, how is this connected to the world?
Yeah, because it's one of those things, it's definitely at least modern day.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, okay, the court is part of the human world, but why do they have robots?
Yeah. It's at least modern day, it may be future.
Yeah, we don't, you don't think about it typically, because the court is its own little universe.
Yeah. Depending on how much you're willing to stretch the, how willing you're, well, how you choose to read the Parley Having a Metroid Prime poster, you could probably even put this a few years in the past.
Yeah. It's just, it seems so weirdly, it's like, that's kind of a problem for me. It's just how does this relate to anything? Because it's it's its own little world, but you have to think well, what about everything else?
Actually, Miyazaki would be appropriate, because there were a few filler pages devoted to them watching Miyazaki movies.
That's a good point, yeah. Plus, Miyazaki also does the thing where, every single time you go somewhere, it's just that's the world. The bathhouse, that's the world. The house in Arrietty, that's the world.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because flight and travel are two major themes in a lot of his films.
Yeah. Anyways, would definitely recommend reading this.
Cannot recommend it enough.
Yeah. Pretty much go ahead and say now, almost certainly the next thing we review will be Jackdaw.
Most likely, yes. I've been trying to, it's just,
almost definitely.
Just watch, 5 minutes before we hit the record button. Do you want to do Jackdaw? No.
Yeah, it'll be like last time, where the intention the entire time was to do, a random off-topic thing on, SVU or Core or something.
Yeah.
And then just, at the end, it's just hey, y'all do MA3? Sure.
Yeah. That's how this is. That's how, one, we have to archive binge on comics, which takes a long time sometimes, and two, it's just whatever the fuck we feel like before we hit play.
Yeah, the archive binging thing is the biggest reason we haven't done Alone in a Crowd yet.
Yeah, and also Bob and George.
Yeah.
And also, hell, the reason it took us so long to do Venus Envy.
And this one.
Yeah. Well, actually, for this one, a big reason is just, we knew going in this is going to be long.
True, we meant to do this for the last couple, we just haven't had the chance to.
It's just we have to have, okay, we're not going to be doing anything for the next 4 hours. Let's talk about Gunnerkrigg.
Yeah, if you're talking about the talking we did before we started recording, it probably has been about 4 hours.
No, actually, we've been talking. Wait, okay, yeah, you're right. Well, we weren't talking about doing this specifically.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were on the phone for a long while, then moved over to Skype.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's definitely been 4 hours because we hit 3 hours when we were talking. Did we? Wait, no, I don't think we did.
Oh no, it just cut out a couple of times.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Anyway, yeah, we'll probably do Jackdaw next. I've already read some of Jackdaw. It's really good, and I'm very eager to look forward. I think it should be great to talk about.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet, so I have no clue what to tell people. So you'll have to see an interview to see what I have to say.
Just watch; he'll hate it.
Yeah, that would be really interesting because the biggest contrast we've had on these so far was you hating BSMV. Well, I thought it was decent.
Yeah, because I wouldn't mind doing a Cisco and Ebert thing at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I think that's it. I think we can probably sign off here.
Yeah. Oh, actually, there's one more thing I'd like to throw out a note on. So long as it's on my mind.
Yeah?
I doubt anyone's going to comment to weigh in on this, but seriously, am I the only one who reads Gaia who's bugged by the lamp? Like, just tying back to the subject, the whole ambiguous time thing. It's like, that's really bothering me.
Yeah, that's a good point. What's the deal with the lamp?
Oh.
Yeah, what's the deal? Yeah, like, what's the deal with that lamp? Yeah, what the shit? You say what we're all thinking.
Yeah. It's like, I'm sure that's just a really weird, baffling question to all involved here.
Hell, I guess we should say we probably will do Gaia at some point. Like we were just discussing that before we hit play.
Yeah. Also, one quick mention here. We'll probably link to this in like the comments or something, but the author actually has done a series of videos just doing quick little overviews of the chapters.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so if you want to hear like more like from his voice talk about like this stuff in detail, like might want to look into that. It's like we might link to the first part or something or his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's in the comments. I've only seen a couple of these.
I haven't seen any. I think I might have to start watching them because I'm really curious about stuff like the cherry trees thing or I'm guessing he hasn't done Sia yet.
Disney hasn't done what?
Sia.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. He's moving through them pretty quick. Like, granted, a lot of his videos tend to be really short.
Yeah.
Like most of them only like 5 or 10 minute overviews. But, still has a bit of information. I'd probably recommend giving them a look if you want to know more about it. I'd read if you haven't read the comic yet, I'd do that first. Seriously, if you haven't read the comic yet, why are you still listening to this point?
Yeah, seriously, I guess you just have a tolerance for punishment. Seriously though, amazing, great stuff. Just read it.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's it then.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, go read it. Yeah, that's really what it boils down to. Read it.
Pretty much. All right. See you guys later.